Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 8:15 on a wet night in the west of Ireland. A slightly deflated Mickey D back with you for the final day tomorrow after another day where we got punctured with a good bit of money going on to a favourite and a lot of money for it, and the stable star and everything you were reading about it, and false or a slowish enough pace, I thought, for horses that had won over 2.5 mile and left it up to a flatbread on slightly better ground on the outside to outspeed them in the finish. I thought he or she would push up, but I had done a Trixie and treble, Tinner Trixie, Tinner treble, for my local GAA club, to get a few pound for them. I said I'd pass it on to them. But the first two up, I would have got back 560 if that had won, and we get back 92. So there's a big difference. So that was the sort of in a Trixie and treble. I didn't cash it out. Normally I'd cash out treble or the Trixie part and let it. But I was just confident when there was so much money on the exchanges for it that. But anyway, what can we do? We'll just have a quick look at the results today. Grey Dawning won. I had a down in a 2-horse race. It was the 2-horse race, but our second one, Facile Vega, no good. That's the end of that. I suggested Zanny here 2-1, top 4. That came in 4th. The second race, the first 6 was English. A bit of the English handicapper is getting his revenge on hurdle races the last few years. Anna Benina was the first Irish trained across the line. Popova ran a great race for a Hershey that the ground was slightly against and was at the back of the field. David had said, I read a comment there this morning that the owner, David Maughan, that the Rachel had said the ground was against it, that not to back it. But it ran very well. There's a race in that, no doubt, at some stage. Protectorate, a horse we backed in the Gold Cup a couple of years ago, went to 3rd. I was saying last night, Protectorate in Violin and a High Senior conflated. They're all the older the 3-milers to be able to stay on. I done the the Tricast combination, Protectorate in Violin and a High Senior. So looking good come around the turn. He parcelled up and went home, and conflated stayed on, and even Capitano, that wasn't long enough, he was closing as well. He was unlucky. He didn't get up to be 3rd, in fact. The Tricast actually paid 215 quid. I was discussing with myself, I didn't stick in the 4th one. In Violin, I don't know, it was left, I don't know, I must look at it again because I was in a betting shop and there was a good few around. I must look at it again before I'll give a judgment on it. Tiupu got a great ride, very confident ride from Jack Kennedy. I want 2, 3, 4, 5 there for the Irish, but didn't Buddy One run a great race today as well? And he only raced at 153. You'd be thinking like that. But great race for the Gilligans. Looking forward to seeing him in Ireland again. Home by the Lee ran a good race as well as a big prize. Crebley was a big gamble as well today. Our 2 horses done no good in the plate. Went off in front but died a death. Life in the Park came back to a spark of life today. We backed that a couple of times in Ireland. Done no good for us. In Exchelsis Deo, that fell the last day when we backed it, when it would have won the race. Finished well as well. There was a race in that at some point. And then we went on to this race. Brighter Days Ahead. Second. And I'll have to have a look at it again. I was very disappointed with the result, and I was my stomach was a bit in butterfly-ish today, and it seldom gets around like that for that race today. I was just hoping it would come in. Those because a couple of bets that I had done for charities and that. That was the link to put it right, but anyway, didn't happen. Huge gamble on this altogether. Woke up at 4, I think, yesterday evening. It was really available around 11 before 3 to 1 this morning. Hosed up a great ride from Derek O'Connor. That's 2 for him this year. An old horse of ours there, second, Gitmaker. We would have got a place with we'd have been second with Angels Dawn, and it fell. It was going all right at the time because it would have stayed up the hill. It wouldn't have bet the Oak at the winner anyway, but it was running well. But anyway, Friday, we'll get on to tomorrow. Another tricky sort of a day. I think it could be I'm hoping it'll be a Willie Mullins day tomorrow again. In the Sergino is pulled out, so that leaves the first 5 in the betting. There is all Irish. That's Salver, decent engine in that horse, but a bad jumper. If he improved on his jumping, he might have a chance. I went with Majborough. I did say before it ran first time out in the in Leopardstown there. I showed you the video of its run in France, and I was saying of all the horses that had won, several of them, that was the one that I'd have bought if I had to pick. Went out in front the last day. It's a stayer because it had won on the flat no, it was one over hurls in France, wasn't it? 2 mile, yeah, 1 mile 6. But it went out in front in Ireland, and it looked like that he was going to...
He was trying to stay on, turning in with 1 flight left in the McCann Fitzgerald Spring Juvenile Hurdle. Off the bend, it's Majborough from looming Cargés on the outside, who draws level. After them is Stormheart, then into Lotto. Calaconti weakens and then bunting as they come down to the final flight, and Cargés strikes the front from Majborough. Stormheart on the outside. Over the final flight, the stable companions go. It's Cargés from Stormheart on the outside of Majborough, then Calaconti is trying to come again ahead of bunting, but it's Cargés driven out by 2 lengths as they run up towards the finish. It is Cargés, a perfect opening to the show for Danny and Willie Mullins. And second is Stormheart, Majborough, and bunting. A 1, 2, 3, 4 for the trainer Willie Mullins, then Calaconti and Ethical Diamond next.
There was a fella beside me, and
what a start to the day for Danny and Willie Mullins. A Grade 1 double, 7 to 2. Once again, the favourite, chosen by Paul Townend, has to settle for second best. And Match was run a really good race from the front. And
there was a fella beside me that day in Leopardstown, and I said, that's the horse I'd take out of that. It was his first one. All the rest had ran. Stormheart is a better jumper. He's very nimble and neat. Nice technique. Majborough will have to jump quicker tomorrow. But he has an engine, so he might go out in front tomorrow, and I've said that now straight away, he probably won't. Mark Walsh could doing us a favour again, so that's the selection. In the county hurl, you could nearly just throw a pin in them, but that load to Sud, a lot of money for today with Skelton going so well. I came down as an each way selection Absurde. It won the E-Bar last year. I prefer slightly better ground for it, but the ground, it might be drying out. Won the E-Bar last year on Good to Ferrum. Then it ran in the Melbourne Cup. It was pulled up then in Leopardstown and on heavy ground. But behind Ballyburn the last day, it was only 3 lengths behind King of Kingsfield. So there were level weights that day. I think there's a couple of pound in it tomorrow. Game of Kingsfield 10-12. Absurd 10-10. £2. Paul Townend chooses him as well. An each way bet. The book is there paying 6 places. The Albert Bartlett. Willie is favourite again with Reed and Tommy Wrong. I'm going to go with Danny Mullins on Dancing City. It won the Grade 1 in Leopardstown. Predator's Goal didn't frank the forum, but I think he just had an off day. I'm just putting it down that he had an off day. It was a big prize that day when he won. I thought he stayed on well over 2-6, and the extra couple of furlongs will be to his advantage. The second to Ballyburn there last April in a bumper in the Grade 1 in Leopardstown, or the Punchestown. Brings on to the big race of the day, the big race of the week. The Cheltenham Gold Cup, won last year by Galopin de Champ. Everyone knows I'm very fond of that horse. 2 great performances at Leopardstown this year at Christmas, or one last year, Christmas and the Dublin Racing Festival. Still only an 8-year-old will be trying to emulate a horse from Clonsutton that won 2 in a row, Album Photo. Then you have to go back to Best Mate to have won more than 1 consecutive. I'm backing it. I think it's the best horse. I hope it'll win. I think there's a bet as well in the race as is Fast or Slow. I think is the second best horse in the race, and there's he's 11-4 without the favourite. That's pretty decent. $11-4. I checked with a couple of other ones there. I don't know where the green bookie is hiding on us there as well. I wonder if they're watching in. Galopin de Champ anyway is the selection, and anyone that don't like back and short ones, Fast or Slow without. If it was absolutely, I don't know what the weather forecast for tomorrow, but if it was hot deep, which it's not, there's a horse there that won the Welsh Grand National for us, Nassalam, and I think they're going to go for entry, but they put him in here with the ground being bad, but that'll stay all day, and that could go out in front tomorrow, because the Welsh Grand National was 4 mile, but it's I don't know whether it's the soft ground or the blinkers, but he has been transformed in the last few runs altogether. The Foxhunters won last year by Premier Magic at 66-1. Second was It's On The Line. Ferns Lock and On The Line have met twice before. Bought recently by It's On The Line by JP. Ferns Lock won in November 2022 in Fairyhouse. It beat It's On The Line by 12 lengths in a hunter's chase, and Ferns Lock was getting £4 at that day. The last time they met was in Down Royal, St. Stephen's Day or Boxing Day, and Charlie Mullins was riding It's On The Line, so he was carrying £7 lighter, and they're level weights tomorrow. Ferns Lock since then has won in Thurles, but he'd be expected to win that day, but He didn't bring him over last year because he was only 6. The two of them are 7 now. I'm going to go with Ferns Lock tomorrow. Yeah, it'd be great to see a small trainer from Anna, David Christie, winning at Cheltenham. The underdog. The Mayor's Chase. Dino Blue is the hot favourite all along. This year has a couple of good runs to make sense of that role. It bet Gentleman to me in Leopardstown. That ran well enough yesterday. And then to second held Fabiolo. If you look, the step up and trip is the thing. I mentioned Limerick Lace when it won for us in Doncaster. It was a 10-1 shot at the time. That it definitely stayed the distance because that race was just 2-4, just nearly 2-5 that day. It absolutely hosed up. That was about a 10-1 shot because it had been second to Cocoa Beach in the Troy town and went 10s into 4s that day. So Newt was well handicapped. So that's an each way shot there tomorrow, but you can't back the 30 each way at 7-2. But Alligore de Vassey seems to have turned a corner sort of this year. I thought last year it was second to Impervious in this race, and that was his first run. No, it had ran in January. Sorry, it had won. But it didn't see it. It was second and third. It just, I don't know. It wasn't the horse that I thought it was when it bet Bride's Hill and Melina Girl. And I thought it ran terrible in Fairyhouse, but then it ran really well the last day. I thought it jumped better, and I thought it's an each way play at 9-2, and without the favourite. I know some people. I like these bets because it's a sort of the safety net that you can do. It's 9-4, 2-1 without the favourite. That you're hoping it'll finish second. That it might be classier than Limerick Lace, because the figures suggest that it is. Dino Blue is 160, Alligore de Vassey 155, Limerick Lace is 147. It's getting £3 all right. Brings us on to what I think is a fairly good bet tomorrow. I'm going to be bold and brazen. I'm going to call it my nap of the day. At 10-1. Better days ahead. Vector Stud could do it winning a race in Cheltenham. And Gordon. Danny Gilligan, good apprentice. But if you look at in December in Navan, it was only 5 lengths behind Slade Steel, Lecky Watson, Stellar Story. But the run the last day, I thought, when it was second to Asian Master, and it gave £15 to Asian Master, and Asian Master was 4th in the Supreme yesterday. I know it's beaten 10 lengths, but the other horses that's gambled on there, like Quay de Bourbon, the old saying, what did he beat? Westport Cove and Fenway Park. Like, what price would they be if they were in this race? He was very workmanlike below in Clonmel there in January to beat him, and Waterford Whispers. It's only ahead of Yates Star. Yates Star is ran well behind that Maximum. I point out he's a Roscommon horse actually, owned and bred by a man up near at League. They're going over today for it. And Yates Star is a 20-1 shot. So I don't know has he that much in hand of as people. Well, maybe the handbrake was on. I forgot to look at that race. Anyway, that's my thoughts for tomorrow, and I think there's a bet tomorrow in the 2:35 at Ffos, a horse called Mumbles that won for us when it was over 2.5 miles. Then they dropped it back to 2 miles. I couldn't understand it at the time, so staying on late to when it didn't catch up to my granny Lily, but it hosed up at 2.5 mile in Chepstow on heavy ground. Heavy ground, an inspection in the morning. I don't know whether that'll go ahead or not. I know you wouldn't run anything around here tomorrow. It's the second hit of Tara on heavy ground of Ffos last before. I think it would have won the last day only for the distance. And I was saying at the time, if it was 2.5, I'd be sweeter on the last day. So I expect him to go fairly well. See, the Midlands Grand National is on Saturday. I was hoping John of Mary finished 8th in that last race today. I was hoping that to keep that for Saturday in over there. Anyway, I get this into the oven. Bash the bookies over and out.